Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
All right. Hey, everybody, this is Intruder Blue from Masked Intruder. You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. As always, I'm bringing you guys awesome interviews. And today I have on the line with me right now from the band Masked Intruder, Intruder Blue. How's it going, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Doing awesome. Now, you guys have a new CD that's out right now, and it's been out since May 27th. M.I. How are the fans reacting? What's some of the reaction to it?
Well, the reaction's been pretty good, actually. We've been very, very happy about, like, the reviews that we've been seeing and, like, just general sort of, like, what our fans have been saying on, like, the internet or whatever and, like, on Twitter and stuff. It seems like people are pretty stoked on it, which we're happy with, because we put a lot of energy into it. So we figured people would like it, and we're happy to see that that's the case.
Off this new album that you guys have, what would you say some of your favorite songs are off of it, or do you have just one or two?
Well, like, it's hard to say because, like, that's like asking, like, a parent, what's their favorite kid is,
Yeah.
So, of course, there is an answer because parents definitely, they like one kid more than another one. But, with a band, it's different, actually, because you actually do love all your songs the same, Like, I like them all for different reasons, on M.I. we got this song called Almost Like We're Already in Love, and that one's pretty fun because it's totally a cappella. But,
yeah.
We got this other one, When I Get Out, which is, that's one of my favorites, too, because that one's, like, about getting out of prison, which is the best thing to do with prison is to, get out of it. And then we got this song called Crime Spree. That one's very near and dear to my heart, too, because that crime spree is, like, a lot of fun. It's, like, basically, if you've never gone on a crime spree before, it's basically, like, you get to do a bunch of crimes, but just, like, in a row. So it's, like, awesome, best of both worlds, whatever. So, I mean, really, every track on the CD is special to us and means something to us for different reasons. And like, we had a lot of fun writing those songs, and we had a lot of fun recording them too. So yeah, we think it's a great album. We're glad people are stoked on it.
I just recently started getting into your guys' music, and I picked up all three. I got the EP of Under the Mistletoe. I picked that up.
Oh, yeah.
And then I picked up the self-titled Masked Intruder, plus I had M.I. Man, you guys have some great freaking music, and I just want to say this for anybody that's out there listening, go check these guys out. You'll like it. It reminds me of the old school ways of punk music, the way it should be done, and congrats, man, and thanks for bringing it to us.
Hey, thank you, man.
Since you got these two albums out, and plus you got the EP out, how much growth have you seen in this band, Blue?
Oh, it's been crazy. Like, when we started playing this band, we were just like four, naive, innocent people that, just got out of prison and sort of trying to start doing something that would make, ladies want to make out with us, so that's why we started the band. And like, since that, since our humble origins, like we've been basically playing now, all over the whole world, and like seeing people singing our songs back to us in like London, or like Australia, or like in Canada, or like, even other places in the United States, like California and everything, and like Florida and New York, and like being able to go everywhere and have people be so excited about it. Like the growth has been crazy for us. We never expected anything like it, And definitely signing with Fat Records was a big part of that too. Like we noticed a lot of difference after that. So yeah. We've been very lucky, We feel like we definitely are in a very lucky, good position. We're trying to make sure that we earn every bit of it,
I Fought the Law on this one is one of my favorite songs. Like you said, the acapella song here, yeah. Almost like we were already. Man, this is just great. I like it. I like what y'all bring to the table.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I Fought the Law. That's like a true story, because like basically when you're fighting the police officer, it's really dangerous because, like, they basically have, like, weapons.
Yeah.
And there's, like, a whole bunch of them, Because even if you were to beat up a police officer, it's like, then there's just going to be a whole bunch more. You know, it's like a horror movie or something, like the Terminator, but even scarier because the police, you know, like there's a billion of them or something. So, yeah, you got to watch out for that. I wouldn't recommend trying to fight a cop.
No, I wouldn't recommend that either because you'll definitely go back to prison, and you know, you guys don't want to do that again. So
absolutely, yeah, they'll put you in prison for sure.
Or get maced.
Yeah, you get maced too. I'll tell you what, that stuff hurts real bad when you get that pepper spray in your eyes. It's like, it's like somebody kicked your eyes in the balls.
Oh, have you got tased?
Oh yeah, well, I've never been tased personally, but I've seen Green get tased like 4 or 5 times within a couple minutes.
Oh, geez.
But he wouldn't go down. He was just like I don't know, just like a rabid dog or something. But you know, there was like he was trying to get to this sandwich that was like across the room, and these police officers just kept tasing him. But he was so hungry, I guess, he just kept reaching out for it. Finally, he just passed out. He was just drooling all over the place. It was horrible.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Who are some of your influences coming up as for music?
Well, you know, we've got a lot of influences, actually. Like, obviously, I think, you know, we've got a lot of punk rock influences. Screeching Weasel was a big one.
Yeah.
You know, more recent, you know, we've got, like, Teenage Bottle Rocket. We've gotten to tour with them a bunch. They were a big influence. And in other bands like The Queers, Mr. T Experience, No Effects, basically a lot of stuff on Fat Records and on Lookout Records from the 90s. And then, you know, pop music is a big influence on us, like pop music from the 50s, doo-wop kind of stuff, but also pop music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, you know, like Motown and, you know, Billy Joel and, like, I mean, like, you know, even, like, hair metal and stuff like that, you know, I mean, basically everything that we have enjoyed over our whole lives, we try to take the, you know, sort of stuff that we like about it and find a way to fit those musical ideas into our own thing. Yeah. So, we probably have too many influences to list, really.
I'm glad you mentioned Screeching Weasel because I've interviewed several punk bands, and you know they've not really mentioned Screeching Weasel. And man, that's going back to the old days for me. I mean, Screeching Weasel, they were awesome. They was a huge influence on myself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would have to say my favorite album was probably Anthem for a New Tomorrow, but they got a lot of records that I like a lot.
Especially their covers that they did. I mean, they nailed a lot of their covers. I mean, you couldn't ask for any band to do a better cover than what they done. Yeah,
they did do a great job on that stuff for sure.
What can fans expect at a show from Masked Intruder?
Well, if you come to one of our shows, what you could expect is that you're going to have a really good time. We try to keep things pretty interesting, so I think it's a little bit different than your average show. If you come to see us and you're not having a good time, then we will actually see you. We'll notice it, and you will regret not having a good time. You know, because we will either rob you, or Officer Bradford, who's a police officer of the law, he will arrest you if you're not partying. So basically, when you come to a Masked Intruder show, it's going to be a party, and you might get robbed.
So I need to leave my wallet at the house, then, huh?
Yes, well, you can leave your wallet at the house if you want, but we would recommend not doing that because it would be more difficult for us to have to go all the way to your house to get the wallet, which we will do if we need to.
Oh, that's awesome. Blue, do you guys prefer clubs or do you guys prefer festivals?
You know, the cool thing about festivals is that you get to play with so many cool bands in one day, and you get the huge audiences, which is a lot of fun, but we definitely have a really good time in clubs where and smaller venues where we can get sort of intimate and get that like interplay with the crowd going on. You know, festivals are cool too, but I think that probably in terms of like what's a fun show to play, I personally, speaking for myself, like the club shows I think the best, which is why it's nice that we get to go on tour, you know, so much. Like right now we're actually heading off to Normal, Illinois to play the first show of the tour there. We're in Cleveland tomorrow, and we're going to be touring the U.S. for basically, you know, most of the rest of the summer before we go off to do Reading and Leeds Festival in the U.K., which we're excited about. That's a big festival.
Yeah, it looks like you guys are going to be on tour until September 28th. That's pretty good while for you guys.
Yeah, it's a good long while. So we'll be on tour basically till then, and then you know we'll have more dates later in the year as well. You know, they just haven't been announced yet. So. We try to get out there and tour as much as we possibly can. So we're out most of the year, try to give most people a chance to see us, you know, if they can.
How's it feel to you when you're on stage and you're seeing people, just going crazy and singing your guys' music? How's that feel?
Well, it feels terrific, when people are coming to the show and they love the music and they're singing the lyrics, it's like very exciting, especially if they're ladies, because then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, maybe this lady's, going to make out with me or whatever, which hasn't happened yet, but maybe that will happen. So it's very, it's very inspiring and humbling when people, when people go crazy and love the music.
What do you think that Masked Intruder brings to the table for music?
There are a lot of great bands going right now, and, we try to just bring everything that we got to the table. So I can't say exactly what all it is, but, we've got our own sort of perspective on songwriting and on performance, and one thing that we do that not a lot of bands do is, we've got this sort of like whole extra like showbiz thing that we do, because we got like the live show is a little bit of a spectacle. There's a little bit more like maybe interaction between the stage and the crowd than you might see at a regular show.
Uh-huh.
But that's not necessarily the case, because a lot of bands, that really break down the barrier and get out there and connect with the audience. But we definitely are doing it in our own way. So I think that people should probably come and see us and see it for themselves.
Since it's the digital age, do you think that it's helped you guys out more, or do you think it's really hurt music?
I feel like the digital age is like too new, like to know what its long-term like effects on the music industry are going to be. Like definitely everything has changed.
Right.
It's never going to be like it was a long time ago, but I don't think that it's settled into where it's going to be ultimately yet. I think we're still in like a transition period, which is difficult, for bands because, records do not sell as much as they used to, and people go about discovering bands differently. But, for as difficult as the digital age might be for bands where people are downloading music instead of buying it, for example, it still gives people opportunities to get their music out there across the world. So in a way that wasn't possible back in the day, nowadays you could start up a band. You get like your cat, take some footage of your cat, put your music behind it, you put it on YouTube, and pretty soon your dumb band has like 1 billion views on YouTube, maybe if you get lucky or whatever. So It's a totally different, world.
Blue, I want to thank you for taking time out to do this interview with me. Like I said, you guys are on tour right now until September the 28th. How can your fans keep up with you guys and reach out to you if they want to mug you or steal your wallet or whatever?
Yeah, sure. Well, if fans can always find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Masked Intruder, or on Twitter. We got, we're Masked Intruder 1, the number 1 on Twitter. We're also on Instagram, just Instagram, I guess, Masked Intruder on Instagram, whatever. I don't know how the internet works. Or also you can go to Fat Records website. Fat Records website has our tour dates up, so you can check them out there too. Oh, you could just use your, Google and look up, our tour dates too. So just look on the internet sometimes.
Yeah, everything's right on the internet.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, before I let you go, will you care to do a promo for my show?
Sure. All right. Hey, everybody, this is Intruder Blue from Masked Intruder. You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Thank you, Blue. Everybody stick around. You only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour. Thanks, Blue.
Hey, thanks, dude.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.